guys, it's Logan from Koaster Kids, and today we are with Rob and Mark from Kentucky Kingdom, and they invited me to come be in a private tour and be able to view the construction for a Kentucky Flyer, which is very interesting. This is my first opportunity to do something like this, and it's very awesome. Whose alarm was that? Okay.
Rob's a busy man.
Sorry.
So,
Wow,
you may have seen Mark in a lot of our videos. He's a huge coaster enthusiast, and he's going to give us a tour for Kentucky Flyer. So just tell us about what's going on.
They finished up with the final laying of the chemical anchors for all the supports for the vents. Those are all laid. They've actually got struts up. They started on Tuesday, got them all up, everything they had pre-built. So now they're getting ready to go off on their winter break. So we're going to take you out and show you everything they've got up so far. It's going to be a great experience.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Rob, what are you thinking?
Well, you know, first of all, let me say thanks to all the Koaster Kids out there. And Logan and you, Jeff. We're glad to have you guys, and we're glad you guys were able to come out today and check out the progress of Kentucky Flyer. We're going to get a little wet, probably, because it's raining, but other than that, we're going to have a good time. And looking forward to all of you coming out and visiting Kentucky Kingdom this season and riding Kentucky Flyer.
Hey, and I see behind you here something cool on the wall. What is that?
Oh, well, that is the European Koaster Kids tour poster that we got from you guys as a gift, and we appreciate that. So we wanted to give it a nice spot on the wall here in our administration building.
That is pretty awesome. All right, let's go see some construction.
Yeah.
So here's all of the wood for Kentucky Flyer. Some of it's already up, but here's the remaining parts.
Chemical anchors, when they drill the hole and they insert the bolt, the chemicals react to the concrete and sets it and fuses it to anchor it into place. And they've got them all set in the entire coaster. They finished up the middle pad yesterday. That was the last pad they poured. The drop is on the side by the berm. It's going to come down the drop, it'll come up this way, turn, do the turn, come back, do this parabolic hill, another bunny hop, climb, one more drop, and then you're up into the brakes.
So right now, all these guys are tightening all the bolts. Figuring what's good.
So, Mark, what are they doing with that strap on there?
Pulling the bit vertical, and they're getting it lined up so it's perfectly perpendicular. And then tightening it up so that every bit is vertical. There's no sway, no give, it's perfectly straight.
And they got a surveyor down there who's checking to make sure. It's an amazing level of precision they have to execute.
So you've got the drop coming down, you've got the small hill, and it climbs up, so it's technically a double up. So right after the drop, you're going to have a double up, and then more than likely a double down on the other side. So you're going to have a lot of air on this little hill right here. But as high as you have to climb, it makes sense that it would have a double down to give you more air. The concrete slab was done so that they could adjust the vents as they need to create a smooth track. It's easier to do it with a slab to adjust the individual bents themselves as opposed to having a foundation footer for each individual bent. More difficult to adjust. This makes it much easier for them to go in and just raise or lower it a little bit to get everything perfect.
So this is the pathway right next to Skycatcher where it's going to lead to the queue for Kentucky Flyer. So I am standing in what's going to be the shed for Kentucky Flyer, and they're going to store one train in here and one train in the station overnight. That's the station right there.
So what's in the shed?
I don't know, probably a brake run. Or maybe some lights or a projected screen. Or maybe some fire effects like on Wicker Man. Why isn't that for what's in the shed?
The entrance will be on this side. This is going to be your load. The train store here in the center, and then you'll unload on this side and then out underneath the structure.
So when Kentucky Flyer is open, you'll be able to see it like surround the wave pool with kind of like a backdrop for the water park. I think it's a good idea.
The conduit work has been done, so now what we're waiting for is the electrical to be put in. The conduit pipes are all set for the lift, brakes, control panel, station. It's all set, even back to the transfer track, which will be flip track. It'll have the flip track mechanism like on Oscar. Because of where it's at and where the curve is. It's right there in the curve, so it'll be flipped and send it into the station.
And you know, the last new Gravity Group coaster I rode was Twister at Groenland, and that was like very compact. So like, what are some of the challenges and advantages of like having way more space like this, like an out and back layout?
They went with the length. According to Mr. Hart, he wanted a long, family, thrilling ride. There was 4 different layouts, 3 or 4 different places within the park. He finally decided on this location for the scenic view from the water park. So when you're standing out in the park, you'll be able to see the coaster. So from anywhere within the park, you're going to be able to see a coaster, be it one of our other older ones or the brand new one, which is going to stick out due to the powder-coated white structure. It makes it pop.
And it was tricky to this space, you were saying, because you had a big berm and didn't really know what was under there.
The berm is the remains of all the concrete and rebar from Chang. When Chang was taken out, that was left. So when we started working on the coaster, the water park and everything, they put all of it back there, covered it over in dirt, and created a visual block of what was on the other side, which was gravel lot. They had to decide to, when they put the coaster in, they had to dig into it to find out solid land. And that's why we have it cutting through the berm, because it couldn't be on top of the berm, because the ground's not stable. So it became a challenge to squeeze it in. So the more they squeezed it in, the longer it became. So we got the acreage outside of the park to do the turnaround and come back in. It will be side by side for most of it, except for the brake run and the back turn. Otherwise, it will be side by side to maintain its tight space, which will create a lot of quick transitions and pops of air. We're looking at from the lift out towards the turnaround. So you've got the drop, then you go over this little hill, then you're going to continue climbing up. So you're going to get your double up, the massive major amount of air time on that little hill as you climb up, and then over the next curve, which is going to give you even more air. It's looking like it's going to become an airtime machine as it gets built. The more you see it.
So that is the end of our short tour for the behind the scenes of Kentucky Flyer. Hopefully you guys found it interesting. I thought it was very cool. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to see all this. And once again, thank you, Rob and Mark, for inviting me to come here. They're always so supportive of Koaster Kids, and I really appreciate it. So we'll see you guys later. And as always, be brave and ride on.